the last drive, you maintaining your poise, guys making big catches for you. Describe the drive.
Yeah, it was, like I said, a total team effort. Not sure how many different guys I hit. I know Miles had a few crucial plays. Garrett Barnage stepping up big on fourth down, and obviously Hawk catching the one at the end. I mean, you just gotta play till the end and see what happens, and good things tend to happen when you do that.
What did you see on that pass to Barnes there on fourth down?
When we came over in motion, I saw, usually that play is kind of designed for one coverage, and it was not the coverage we were looking for, and I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to read this one out, and read it out, and I think they jumped Hawk on the short. It was actually the same play last week that I tried to force, so it was good to read that one out and get the first down, and that really, kept things going.
On that Hawkins play, was it going to him, or did you just see him come open?
No, I think, that play, we were surprised he actually, all out blitzed us 2 plays in a row, and Kyle had a great call, and when I saw the guy run over with, I think it was Miles, and then, I'm reading him first, and you just see everyone fly down. It's almost just like throw a punt and just let him catch it. And I got hit, and I didn't get to see him catch. All I saw was him under the ball, and then I heard the crowd, and then I knew, we were set up to kick the field goal.
Why were you surprised? Because Rob Ryan does that all the time.
Yeah, but 2 plays back to back. I mean, and we obviously knew it was the play before they got batted down. I mean, we were ready for it, and thank God it got batted down. I don't know how it would have played out, but sometimes you don't really see that. And as soon as I saw the look, I knew what it was. But you never really know how it's going to play out. Different teams play, a combination like that differently. So, like I said, I read the flat and they jumped it, and then Hawk was all alone.
What did you see on Miles' sliding catch out of bounds?
I knew he caught it. I questioned whether his shoulder was maybe out of bounds, and it was great for him to stay alive and work back to me. I had the time and I got flushed, and I was looking to see if there was someone, flying free to the end zone to see if we could end it there. But, he worked back down and made a great catch.
Brian, do you think this cements more that this is, to use your words, your team? Because it's different than last year when, you were like the last man standing.
Obviously it's great to get a win. I think the biggest thing for me is to win a game like that. I think, we won one like that in my first start in Minnesota last year, and you see the guys, when you get back to the sideline, I mean, you see the guys really believing in you, and that's the best feeling there is. I mean, yeah, winning the game is great, but when the guys in that room respect you, I mean, that's what it's all about, and it's a great feeling.
When you went into this game, you don't have Jordan Cameron, you don't have Ben Tate, Josh is still all up in the air. What does it say about you and your team that you were able to pull this out with a lot of those key guys out?
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably should have told us we shouldn't even showed up to this game, and I think it's a testament to the guys in that room who go in there, and regardless of who it is, it's next man up. It's whoever's in that locker room. That's all that matters, and just ignore the outside noise and go out and play. And I think when a team can come together like that and play the way we did, regardless of all the situations that we had to deal with, and win a game for a team who, some people think are going to go to the Super Bowl, I think, that's a pretty big win. And for us to come together and see it come to fruition and actually win the game. I mean, obviously last week we got really close, but we came up a little short. So to finish it out, I think it's a great sign of the character of our team.
When you started that drive on the 4, there wasn't a huge sense of urgency. I mean, you guys let some clock run. Was the plan to take the entire time and not get the ball back to Drew?
I don't think we really discussed that. I think it was just kind of the way it was. I think I knew, we had 3 timeouts, and there's, more than 2 minutes to go. It's really an eternity, and until you start to get down and you realize you have to take a few, deeper passes or take some shots, I think it was just kind of get completions and move the ball and get those first downs and do stuff like that. And I think when you do that, I've always heard, I forget who told me it, but every completion is demoralizing to the defense. Even in that, whether it's a 2-yard or 5-yard, when you're moving the ball, you're taking them out one one chink at a time, I guess. And so as long as in a 2-minute drive you can get completions and move the ball, yeah, you might be wasting a little bit of time. And really until you get under a minute and you don't have any timeouts, that's really when you have to start throwing the ball down the field. And we hit Miles on the long one where he came back, and then obviously hitting Hawk on that last play. I don't know how many yards it got, but yeah, so, we got down and Billy put it through.
Brian, after Manziel's second appearance, I don't know how many passes you missed, but it seemed to just jump-start you from that point on. The coach said probably weren't thrilled coming off. What are your feelings about now that we've seen this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as a competitor, as a quarterback, you want to be out on the field. It was something that was discussed all week. We weren't sure if we were going to need it or run it. And, I just told myself, because I knew at some point it might happen, just be ready to go back in. And a lot of them were on third downs, and I think we completed most of them. So for me, it was more, when I come off the field, I'm thinking, all right, if it gets to third down, what coverage are we going to play? What play are we going to run? And, just really try to focus on what I had to do and go back out and move the ball. And luckily it worked out.
Did it irk you a little bit, though, that he thought he needed to go to Manziel for the change-up?
No, I think Kyle, we talked, and he said, look, there might be a few looks with Rob Ryan's defense and the situation that we're in. I think we could use Johnny. And like I've told you guys before, as much as it might irk me to go off the field, if it's going to help us win, then, I'm all for it. And I think as a competitor and as a quarterback, when there's only one of you on the field, it's hard for you to get taken off. But I think, for me, I was mentally able to stay in it. I think a lot of guys might not be able to handle that. And I think because they were up front with me, Kyle was up front with me and said, look, we may do it, we may not. If we need to use it, we might. And I think that helped me as mad as I was when he told me. I think it mentally helped me prepare for it.
Could you recall then, to follow that up, that third down pass to Barnidge after man, because that was as big as any play in the game.
Yeah, that might be the game saver. I think it was fourth down. I can't recall. I think it was, but like I said,
I don't mean on the touchdown drive, on the final drive. I mean
right after Manziel.
After Manziel.
Oh, the third down. Yeah. Right away I could see they were trying to play soft coverage and just play everything off, and Gary did a great job of getting his full depth of the routes to where I can hit him and he can kind of fall back and get the first down. So, like I said, we have a group of guys who, regardless of the situation, when their number's called, they're going to make a play. I think, really looking back, the play of the game was Gary catching the ball across the middle on the last drive. I mean, if he doesn't do that, it's over. And yeah, we're missing Jordan Cameron, but Gary stepped up and made a great play.
What's your thinking when you run on the field at the 4-yard line with whatever left? Are you thinking plays I got to run? Are you thinking score? I got to rally the group?
I'm trying to just think one play at a time. And we had the first play set up, and it's kind of a two-way go, and Hawk ends up taking it, but I just didn't feel like I had enough time to put enough into it to throw the ball, so it's kind of a throwaway. And obviously that could be, bring it down, but we, moved the ball, and I think we came back with a run, got a few yards, and then Miles had a great catch on third down, if I remember correctly. So, I think so much in this business you get caught up with results, and if you can just focus on the process and focus on each play one at a time and figure out what you have to do to kind of win that play, whether it's get 6 yards to get a first down or whatever it is on, at the end of the game, and they're bringing all-out pressure and figure out really quickly who you have to throw the ball to. And I feel like I was just really locked into the plays that were being called and just the process of the 2-minute drive.
Brian, you made reference to last year's game in Minnesota and how in the meeting rooms afterwards, that show of respect they had for you. Did you have to earn it again, and is this earning it?
I'm always trying to earn the respect of those guys. I think as a quarterback, you want to go out and you want to win the game. And when you win games, everyone, I think, respects you at that position. And, it might not be the prettiest thing, but when you win games, that's the ultimate goal in this league. And like I said, it was a very similar feeling to the Minnesota game last year.
What do you think it means? What do you think it means to Mike Pettin? Not only to get the win, but for him. I mean, a lot of coaches that have come through here, it's taken a lot longer than 2 games.
Yeah, I think Coach Pettin from the day he's been here has really tried to instill in us the play like LeBron, the mental toughness, the being smart, accountability, and I think as a team we've really bought into that. And I think for him to get his first win at home, like I said, he talked about it last night. He talked about it before the game. Our fans are the best fans in the world, and they kept us in this game. There was times where they really played a role, and we just talked about it. They deserve a winner. They deserve a team that's going to come out and fight to the end. And obviously me being from here, I mean, I know exactly what it's all about. And like I said, to run off that field and see the excitement in this stadium, nothing compares to it, and it's a great feeling.
Brian, you mentioned 2004 and joked about being in high school last time they won. Did you
I think I was going to Michigan State.
Okay. Did you actually go to games?
No, my first game back in this stadium was with the Patriots when I played for the Patriots. What was that, 2011, I think?
Does 10 years ago, though, seem like an eternity?
Yeah, for sure, and I'm sure for our fans it does too. So, like we said, we owed it to them.
Real quick, when you took that hit in the first half, in that corner, whatever it was, did you think you might have to go off there for a minute? Or?
No, it's just one of those that it hurts a little bit, and you just find a little time to get up. And, I took it right on the chin. And, of course, I get to the sideline, and Kyle's like, you just got to get some depth and throw the ball. And I was like, I'm feeling like, complete trash right now. I understand, but that's the good thing about Kyle is he's always locked in, and I really appreciate him and the job he did today. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.